Hello there. Welcome to Tyke Farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Ding-a-ling, ding-dong the bell. It's Sunday morning, 4 o'clock. We've got 3 men on site, Win and Ramel, and a young lad from the chicken farm next door giving a hand. It's a busy morning. We've got 2 pigs to butcher this morning. Just looking at the screen there, I'm talking to myself because there's only me in. So I'll give it a minute. Good evening, Martin, South Yorkshire. I think I asked you last time whereabouts, Sheffield or somewhere like that. At least I'm not alone.
No, it's for watching.
Oh, it's a for watching.
Yeah. Don't forget to on my phone.
Yeah, we're butchering 2 pigs this morning. We did order last night for 60 kilos. The fellow who sells us vegetables is selling pork around his customers. He sells vegetables to, and he couldn't get a pig, so we agreed to sell him one. It brings the money in, but we won't be selling another. I think we've just got enough for his own needs now. The pig yesterday, I made a video. This morning there was 3 more stillborn pigs, and the last one was 95% formed properly. It was still stillborn, but it was a large pig. So it's had 12 or 13 piglets altogether. So it's a fertile pig. It just didn't develop them for whatever reason. But we are going to keep it. We're going to give it another go. Rotherham, Martin, I was down Rotherham, be about 4 years ago now. Driving through, it's all brand new to me. On the Vase roadway, I was a bit surprised that there's still a bit of steel making in Rotherham. I thought it had all gone altogether. Yeah, there was 2 or 3 firms still going, I think, from what I could see out the car. Yeah, so it was disappointing that sow, but these things happen, I suppose. We are getting geared up now. Now we've experienced farrowing pigs and all it involves. I've changed my mind a little bit down there. I was going to go 3, maybe 4 sows, but now I'm going to go to 7 sows and have his own boar. So it'll be a closed shed. Nothing will come into that shed after this next round of visits by the boar, apart from feed. Feed will come in and pigs will go out. And that lessens the risk of everything, any disease coming in. And we'll sell piglets, and we'll mainly produce for ourselves, but we'll have the income off selling piglets. I could have sold all these piglets we've had this last week or so twice over. So the demand's there for piglets. Yeah. So the next job next week will be on the gable end at the back of the house. We've got the materials on site to do that. And then by selling this extra pig today, that'll pay for the materials to redo the pens in the piggery. So I won't be drawing on pensions. I don't want to draw on pensions now. I want to save them up a bit until end of October. No, end of November. If I think of it, if I do want to start again on the house, I could start again end of November. If I can wait till, sorry, I could start end of October. But if I can wait till end of November, have a good chance then with money what's saved up to go right through to the end of the build.
Can I do the clip that because only half you show, not like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Spartan Storm on the pig house. What side is Otter?
Yeah, that side there. That side
The
there.
far side. Neither really. Because it's running east to west. The early morning sun when it gets hot, say 9 o'clock, it's in a dip. So there's a bank and now there's the house in front of this side. So that protects it from the early morning heat till perhaps 11 o'clock. And then it's on the top of the roof until say 1 o'clock. And then it goes over the other side and shines on that side about 2 o'clock. So that will be the hottest side. But the heat starts going out the sun maybe 3 o'clock, 3:30. So it's only got an hour and a half of heat of the day on that side even. The ambient temperature rises everywhere here. But it works quite well in the heat. Sometimes it's hot here all night and sometimes it's cold. When I say cold, that's relative. It's cold to what you get used to here. Same as this morning's cool. I've got this jacket on because we've just come back from the piggery. Don't really need it, but it's nice to wear a long sleeve jacket. But by 8 o'clock it'll be off. Yeah, it's too bloody warm to wear anything but a t-shirt here, really. But I like early mornings. It's quiet and nobody about. I've always liked mornings.
Yeah. Jillian not yet to wake up.
Yeah. Gillian's not woke up yet. That's Jean's niece. She helps out in the shop on the Sunday. And she's quite loud. She's only 15. You can hear her 3 miles away. Not bother at all. Yeah, I got up this morning 2:30, unlocked the gates. Wynne was first in, I think. He came in at 3 o'clock. Oh, the piglet Spartan which we brought to the shop, yeah, that one didn't make it. We've had 2 piglets die, and they were both off the same sow, which we got the piglets on her for cholesterol, and she wouldn't have them back on. And we hadn't clipped the teeth. So we tried a few times during that night to get them back on her, and she wouldn't have it. She was actually frightened of the piglets, so that they must have been biting her. And that's inexperience on our part. Well, Rammel came in early. We messaged Rammel. He came in at 6 o'clock, clipped his teeth, and he managed to get the piglets back on the sow. But they hadn't got cholesterol. The first 3 hours is critical, up to 12 hours, but the cholesterol goes in the piglets and then through the piglets' guts into the bloodstream or whatever, and that's where it gets the antibodies to fight disease from. And the first 3 hours are the critical hours, because that's when they get the most antibodies through the piglet's gut. Well, they'd been on once, and then for 8 hours there'd no cholesterol, and both the piglets what died were off that sow. So we reckon that's the reason why we had problems. There was 3 pigs in total. We lost 2, but the third one jumped straight back as soon as I give it. What did I give it? Can't remember now. What did I give them piglets?
Then,
Oh, yeah, we give them the first one, which we lost. I give her an antibacterial to. I can't remember the name of it. And the second one, I gave a different antibacterial to, and that bounced back more or less straight away. I give it 2 lots, and it was right. The third one, I give the same antibacterial to, and we brought it up here, we wrapped it up, we put it under a light, but it was too far gone, I think. We couldn't save that one. But yeah, all the piglets now, they're all bouncing. There's no problem at all with them piglets. I did yesterday's video with a sick chicken, a large chicken, a small hen. That was all right. We give that a Moxil tablet, which I've not given one of them before. And last night it was looking really perky. I haven't seen it this morning yet, but I'll give it another Moxil tablet. And hopefully we'll save that chicken. I'm quite hopeful we'll save that one. But we'll see. Goat milk is closest to pig milk. Yeah, goat milk's very rich. I was reading a bit about pig's milk. But yeah, it must be the similar, very, very rich milk. You can get milk supplement to mix bottles here. For the next farrowing, we'll get some in. But the goat milk or a supplement milk won't. It's not like cholesterol. I don't think there's any feed value in cholesterol. It's just a case of passing on the mother's antibodies into the piglets because they've got no immune system until it develops.
They have some calcium, David.
Sorry?
Calcium, vitamins, and minerals.
Yeah. Can you get a pig which adds stillborn but still has milk to nipples? Yeah, we could do. We could foster some of the pigs onto her. But we're coping. We've got sufficient milk now. The other two, what the biggest one, the first one to farrow, she hasn't got as much milk as the second one, because she hasn't got as many teats what are working. I think she's only got about 6, maybe 8 teats what are working. The back 4 or back 6 haven't worked, but she's bagged up a lot more than the other one.
Yeah, and it's only 6 piglet. What's left onto
Yeah,
her?
we've left her with 6 piglets, and the other one's got 8.
10.
10. The second one's got 10 piglets. So we had 18 piglets and we lost 2.
Yeah, that's 8, and
So
we transfer 6
yeah.
onto the other side.
So we've got 16 piglets left. Doesn't matter how many piglets you farrow, it's how many piglets you wean what matters. Because once you wean the piglets, you've every chance of growing them out. Cow milk, full fat. Yeah, I don't know, how the piglets would adapt to cow milk or goat milk, but if you don't have any milk and you're getting no supplement and you've got a goat in the paddock or a cow in the paddock, you're going to use it, aren't you? It might not provide everything they need, but it'll keep them going, I would think. So yeah, it's been disappointing with them piglets, but this stuff happens. Over the 3 sows now, what we've farrowed, we're much more confident now. We've learnt quite a bit, and we found out that Ramil knows quite a lot about pigs. We knew he knew about chickens. He's been a farmer, agriculture worker, a lot more than he's been a construction worker. Because it's quite funny when they're doing construction. Wynn's totally in charge and tells him what to do or whatever. But he's a handy fella. You don't have to show him anything twice. But then down the piggery with this farrowing completely changed. Wynn took a step back and he realised he was out of his depth compared with Ramil. There will come a day shortly in the next 12 months, maybe a little bit longer, when all the construction is finished. And Ramil's going to be a handy fella to have around. Yeah, Wynn was chuntering a bit this morning. When he came in, I told him, we're butchering 2 pigs. And he kept asking, how many pigs are you butchering? I said, 2. I think they call it. And he didn't really believe me, I don't think. So he came up when Jean got up and asked Jean. And then he was chuntering to Jean. I didn't know he was chuntering at the time. Better you'd told us last night we could have had one done by now. We'd have come in at 1 o'clock. But we didn't know until 10 o'clock, 10:30 last night. This vegetable seller, we buy vegetables off him, asked us if we could sell him a pig. And we said no, or I said no. Because the pigs we got down there, I'm quite confident we can put them through the sowie shop. So I didn't want to sell one. And then he ordered 30 kilos of meat. And we've been selling maybe 2/3 of a pig. So that order of 30 kilos would have seen up one pig completely sold out today. We've still got probably over half a pig in the freezer. And then he came back wanting 50 kilos. And we thought, well, if he takes 50 kilos, we're not going to have enough for his own customers. So then we start thinking about doing 2 pigs. And the reason being, the extra 25,000 pesos, whatever it is, will pay for the materials to strip out the pens, the farrowing pens, which aren't working, I'm not happy with them, and start again and make 8 pens for 7 sows and 1 boar. I'm not happy with farrowing crates or gestation crates. I'll look for a design for gates to separate the piglets from the sow, or a gate to swing across to form a gestation, a farrowing crate for 2 weeks or whatever, till the piglets grow up strong enough to get out of the way of the mother, restrict the movements of the sow, and that money will pay for that, the materials to do that, the sale of this pig, without me drawing pensions, because I don't want to draw pensions till end of November, end of October if I have to, but end of November will be better. But not drawing pensions for 4-6 weeks now. It's been a good learning curve for everybody. We're managing the money for the shop, self-sufficient. The shop's keeping me and Jean. They've finally realised that I'm not an ATM. They work from us. Everything they ask for, they get the same answer: no money.
Yeah, then they say, you're just greedy.
Huh?
You're just greedy.
Oh yeah, if you don't give them money or whatever they're asking for, you're greedy. I wanted to print a T-shirt, greedy, on the front, Mr. Greedy, but Jean wouldn't like me. It's like when you have kids, when you have children, you don't give them everything they ask for, you spoil them. And all my kids, whatever they asked for me for, didn't matter. The answer was always no. And then an hour later or a day later, I'd get it. But it's important to say no. Yes, Martin, I am aware the swinger a gate across one corner of the pen for the piglets to be safe, and they let them out to feed, like we're doing. So that's one option, but I'm going to look for designs on the internet, and I'll maybe make a gestation crate, which comes out of the pen and gets put in the pen when you need it. But it's got to be strong enough, because pigs are very strong animals, and if you can get the snout under the bars and it's not really secure, they'll just lift it off the hinges or whatever. So I'm not quite sure how I'll do it, but I'll look into it. Spartan, how much is per kilo in US dollars? At the minute we're selling at 280 pesos a kilo. So round it to 300 pesos. So that's £4.50 a kilo. 9 Australian dollars. I don't know about US.
£4 a kilo.
£4 a kilo. 8 Australian dollars a kilo. How much in US dollars, do you know?
Yeah, US it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Around $5.
Around $5 a kilo. Yeah, that would be about £4. Yeah, $5 a kilo, Martin. Spartan.
Screaming now.
Yeah, the pig's squealing, so they're dragging one out. Or tying it up and then
I think they're gonna kill 2 in one go.
right.
Then they're gonna clean it.
The hog tie it, and that's why they need 3 in, because there'll be 120 kilo pigs now, and they have to lift it, they carry it out, and then they butcher it. So, we just can't do it with 2 fellas. It's 60 kilos each end, and it's moving around.
Sometimes kick them. Sometimes it kick them. I will replace you. I'll play your game.
But Ramel's good at butchering. Without a doubt, the way to kill a pig here, it's very stressful for the pig. Tying it up and carrying it out, whatever have you. And in the past, I've seen them sticking the pig and not getting it right. But Ramel gets it right. Ramel gets it right every time. And it's very quick with Ramel, which is a good thing. It concerns me a bit. When I've got the money, I will get organised with a walking fridge down there, electric shock machine, and rails, and we'll butcher properly. But I haven't got the money to do it at the moment, because the emphasis is on the house. Then I'll probably go on to the butchering facilities. But I haven't got the chicken pluckers and water boiler and that. But with these meat birds, you don't really need a chicken plucker. Excuse me a minute. Because them meat birds are just about bald anyway. So they don't need a lot of plucking. Oh, thank you, Spartan. You don't have to. It's appreciated, but you don't have to. Half a hog here in Indiana. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to make pig jerky and ship it to you that way, I think. All right, 1 kilo. I've got you, Spartan. 1 kilo pork for each worker. We'll do that for you. No worries. That'll put a smile on the face.
Yeah, like last time. Like last time when he gave as well. They were shocked when you gave to him. What's this for?
What did they get in?
Yeah, that's around 200 something a piece. Last time.
Yeah. Yeah, that put a smile on the face at Spartan the last time. I think 240 pesos. I can't remember. But it went on Red Horse. Yeah. Well, it's gone quiet, so no, it hasn't.
Still shouting.
Yeah, it's the last gasp, I think. So they got one. The butchering two
in one go.
In one go, and then they'll process 2 in one go. That might be the second one arcing up now. Yeah, but I'm happy where things are going here now. I'm much happier with the livestock. Chickens and pigs. We're not getting the dead loss now. I haven't shown it on video. I will do. I've started feeding them fermented garlic, ginger, honey, which I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, people using it. I don't know if it's making any difference. It's doing no harm. But I'm not getting any dead loss, or very, very little dead loss. So I'm quite happy where things are going. I'm very happy the way things went with the house with the gable end. Wynne had never done it before. He'd hoped to do it, but he'd never been in charge of doing that sort of thing. And I went up the ladder, and he's done a really good job. Now the back end, the back gable end, it's a lot higher. He's going to have to make scaffolding. He wanted 2-inch angle iron.
Yeah, we had it ready.
Then he changed his mind and he's settled for 10mm Rio bar, which he's going to hook over the girders. How he'll do it, I don't know, but he knows how he's doing it. Yeah, Donald, I've been making videos all week, but there's been nothing happening in the house. We've been babysitting the sow all week. So for 3 days I started a video. I'd no content with the house or anything. Just walked around the chickens and the pigs. And then I was going to conclude the video with the farrowing. But it never happened. It never happened for 3 days. And then yesterday I said, well, I'll have to post a video. So I was going to post one yesterday, come what may. But of course the pig did farrow. Not successfully, but at least it had an ending. So that's the reason there was no videos last week. Just there was nothing to put in a video. I could have made a video about nothing. Some videos I watch on YouTube about nothing. But I'm not used to having such a lot going on in the day, and they only show part of it. when there's nothing happening, I just couldn't think of anything to say or show or whatever, you know. So I was missing for 3-4 days. Yeah, I'll have to make a video starting about the shop, because when I make a video about the shop, they seem to be very popular. I'll do a tour of the shop again, showing the stock and layout and whatever have you. We have a lady working in the shop full time, Monday to Friday. It's Jean's cousin. She's really very good. And I did ask her if she minded being videoed, and she said no, but she's quite shy, you know. She's very wary of me. She's still frightened of me, I think. I don't know why. Just got a Western man, that's all. So yeah, this coming week I'll do a video on the shop. Today when it gets light, I'll do a video running on from this live stream. And if the last piglet is still in the gutter outside,
yes, still there. I did have
because I won't be cleaning the pigs until they've finished butchering, I'll put that on video. It's not a pleasant thing to put on a video, but it shows you what the full picture is. And it is supposed to be about farming, this channel. And it's part of farming. Dead loss is part of keeping livestock. But the sow's okay. That's the main thing. You know, nothing came out of her what was rotten, which could infect the sow. If there had been, I would have got a pig buyer in to take it away. That's what I never said on video. They reckon here that there was an eclipse of the moon 2 weeks ago, and that's the reason all the piglets are dead. Folklore, superstition, if you want to call it that. I have an open mind about these things. I don't believe that is the reason why the piglets were stillborn. It makes more sense to me it was the first pregnancy and she wasn't ready for it and the body wasn't ready for it, and they didn't develop. That would be what I think happened. But I don't dismiss folklore and whatever have you. Old wives' tale. They're usually based on experience. If not fact, they're based on experience. For example, in Yorkshire, you don't hear it anymore, but there used to be a saying: if your cattle are in a field, you never let the bell toll twice. The bell tolled on a Sunday to bring people to church. So if you didn't let it toll twice, them cows were in the field less than 2 weeks, and then they will move to a different field. Standard practice for cattle. So it's an old saying, but there's common sense behind it. So I wouldn't dismiss offhand the fact that they believe here is an eclipse of the moon. Who knows? Yeah, I have done quite a few videos shopping. Do some more. Do some more. That's all you want to see, I'll do it. Oh, Martin, no. Trying balut. No, when they empty the incubator, there's maybe 20 eggs left or whatever. They don't go to waste to eat them. But not for me. Roll mops, pickled herring, yeah, I'll eat them. A lot of people won't, but I like them. I used to eat tripe as a kid, but I won't eat it now. Don't have to. Yeah, it's 20 to 5. I think the nights are pulling in a little bit here now. And I think
Day.
it's darker in the morning. Doesn't alter much, maybe an hour. Not like Europe where it's 3:30 in north of England. It starts going dark in depth of winter. Whereas in the summer, it's 11 o'clock. I mean, it never really gets dark at the height of summer, north of England. No, not like that. I remember as a kid, a young lad, there was 2 fish and chip shops across the road in Huddersfield. I can't think of the names of them now. And we used to go and get chips with bits of batter, what was. And it was always debatable which one we went to. But the one on the right hand side, as you're going down by Boy and Barrel, I don't know if that pub's still called Boy and Barrel. It went into a nightclub years ago. That was a tripe shop as well as a fish and chip shop. And in the back, they had every kind of tripe what came out of the cow. And some of the tripe was quite meaty. And it was popular. A lot of people went to that tripe shop. All I ever ate, I think, was honeycomb. That's what my mother used to buy. I'd eat anything as a kid. You didn't have any choice. But I have tried it since when I went in Australia. I seen tripe in the supermarket. And I tried it. And I thought, no, I'm not eating this. Waste of bloody time. Used to love tripe and bag. I don't really know what you mean and bag. Most of the tripe was honeycomb tripe, but there was a brownish tripe in the other as well. And then anything offal was all called tripe. And I remember in the shop there were dozens of different tripes. Yeah, I think so, Spartan. Yeah, she was on the same diet as the other two pigs. Um, and no, there was no smelly shit came out of it. So I'm quite happy that the sow's in good health. There's nothing. If it was stinking and rancid coming out, then you could say, well, a guts, a womb, or whatever is going to be at best tainted, but at worst rotting. So she would have gone if that was the case. But no, I think she's fine. So we'll give her another go. She did her best, so yeah.
Huh?
But it was funny.
David, interrupt you for a while. You step on the hose pipe, he cannot pull it.
All right.
You need to move the.
Yeah. There was milk on the teats for 4 or 5 days and nothing happening. Whereas the other two, as soon as they had the milk on the teats, they farrowed the same evening. About the same time, 7 o'clock. But like I've said numerous times, I've no experience of farrowing, so this is what you've got to learn. So I'll just go and move the little chucker on the hose pipe. You sit here, Jane, and talk to them.
Oh well. I'll just be here on the side. Close the door, the small cat will go out. Dito na sila yung giguyod. Momeng. Di mo gawas. Ambulance was very early.
Sorry?
Ambulance.
Ambulance?
Yeah, that is ambulance down the road.
Oh, there's ambulance up and out. Mrs. Tyke, what's been this week vegetable prices? Buying in. What you been paying for the vegetables?
It's not as expensive as like before. Cabbage was just 60 peso a kilo.
So cheaper, Spartan. Cabbage 60 pesos a kilo.
What you call that one? Bok choy.
Bok choy.
Yeah, same.
Same for bok choy.
The potato is quite high, 110.
110 potatoes. 5 kilos. I eat 5 kilos a week.
Yeah, and the shop pay for it.
Yeah, and the shop pays for it.
And the carrots was 140.
Carrots 140.
The garlic was 120.
120 for garlic.
150 for the red onion.
Onion, the little tiny red onions like shallots. 120, 150. Yeah.
The pumpkin was 60 peso.
Pumpkin 60, that was expensive last time. Yeah,
Yeah, last time it was 70. And
70.
yeah, and I just sold it for 80 because I don't want
Oh,
to go any
it's
further.
dropped a little bit. Still expensive than 60.
Yeah, but still I'm selling it for 80. And then I think only that one.
But vegetables here are a luxury item, really. They'll buy one potato, make soup with it, put it into soup. They'll buy half a bok choy or a quarter of bok choy, a slice of cabbage. So they spin it out between a family. But if they could afford the vegetables, they'd eat a lot more. If they could afford lots of things, they would eat a lot more. But rice is a staple, and they'll get a sachet of coffee, and if that's all they've got, they'll sprinkle the coffee on top of the rice. Anything to flavour it, anything as partner for rice. But if they've got money, then they'll buy pork. But not everybody has money. Not everybody works. If they're not working, if there's no work for them, then they're on the breadline. And if they've got work, like in construction, they spend it straight away. They buy in excess. So they'll never go any further forward because they don't have consistency of work. They work for 6 weeks and then there might be 3-4 weeks no work, just dodging around trying to get a few pesos here or a few pesos there. We're on this site. Wynn's been with us right from the word go, 3 years. We've had 2 other fellas been with us a good long time, but they chose to leave. And then the labourers we've had, they haven't stayed long because we haven't required them for any long period of time, and I don't have the same loyalty to them as what I do the more skilled workers. Roger, I told everybody that work wasn't secure. Worst case scenario, I said, well, Win will work 5 days, Grandma will work 2 days, and Roger will work 1 day. That's what I was guaranteeing him. Worst case scenario. Anyway, it's not happened like that because Roger never came back in. So I'd only 2 wages. And the pigs came back on stream, butchering. The first 2 weeks were very poor, but we gained momentum and it's been good this last 3 weeks. So it's unlikely these 2 are still working 7 days a week. It's unlikely they'll go on short time at all. But it's there if you have to use it. You can't run away with the idea all the time that I've got a money tree in my back pocket and life isn't like that. If I'm short of money, then I'll stop the job every time because I won't go into debt. I could get 200,000 pesos credit at the hardware shop, I've no doubt about it, but I won't do it. In Prince, the big supermarket, they were pestering Jean for 2-3 weeks if she wanted credit. And I said, no, we're not having credit. And eventually Jean turned on this woman and said, look, he won't have credit, so stop asking me. But if somebody owes me £1, I want it. And I don't, and I shouldn't have to ask for it. If you owe me £1, I want it, and it's your responsibility to pay me that £1. Because I won't ask for it. I'll never lend you another bloody £1 ever again in 20 years. You'll never get another £1 out of me. But if I owe somebody £1, it's on my mind. I need to pay that £1 back. That's why I don't do credit. Obviously, a mortgage, different. I did buy a car once. Yeah, just once, I think, on finance. And I think I may have, when I first got married, bought some furniture on finance, I think. Can't remember now. Apart from that, I've never borrowed money. Another saying in Yorkshire: never a borrower, or lender be. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I do have problems with words and that nowadays. I'm saying something, I can't recollect the word I want, or a mumble. Yeah, it's all part of growing old, I suppose. Swiss chard Spartan, I'll Google that. I've never heard of it. I'll never recognise it by another name, possibly. Swiss chard. With little soil, well, I'm intending to grow vegetables here hydroponically. I've never grown hydroponic vegetables or hydroponic anything. It interests me. So that's why I'll be doing hydroponics. Just a small way. See how it goes. I'll need to make a growing box under lights and that to get the seeds started. And no doubt, if it's successful, or I think it will be successful, I'll expand it. And that'll be my last project. You can't spread yourself too thinly. You can't have pigs, chickens, and building a house. And Obi keeps on at me about a smokehouse. Eventually, yeah. Another one is utilising the cesspit for gas. Eventually, yeah, I've been looking at a few videos on that, burying 2 or 3 barrels in the ground and making gas for your own use. Why not? But that's a lot further down the track. I've enough on doing what I'm doing. But if I'm interested, I'll have a go. If I'm not interested, then I'll stick as I am. Yes, Edward, I did. I think they finished up the old Jean 3,000 pesos. I think it was more than that, but she got them down to 3,000 pesos. And I said I wasn't bothered about it because I was building the fence down that boundary, and they they weren't mindering about it anymore. I think initially when we first tried to build that fence, they were trying to get money out of me, compensation. It was mentioned by the borough engineer, compensation, and I wouldn't pay it. It's a different then, and when they first came back, there's a different fellow in charge. Different people in there now running it. They're farming properly. They're paying the wages. Everybody's happy next door. We're happy with them. They're happy with us. Different relationship all together now. But Jean nagged and nagged and nagged that fella. And she got every penny, which was surprising. At that time, he was still here with the new people. And I think he was, again, a bit embarrassed because she was asking the staff, when's he back in? Ask him if he's going to pay the money he owes me. And he did eventually pay it. Big leaves and corns back the second year. So, no, I've never heard of it, Spartan. I will Google it and see what it looks like. Yeah, other things people comment all the time. Why don't you get soldier flies and that? Doesn't really interest me. And what do they produce? Yeah, it's high in protein, and chickens will love them. But it's like feeding pigs on duckweed and the other variation of duckweed. You can't feed bloody pigs on duckweed. It's impossible. I've seen one video and he had 10 kilo of duckweed in a bucket. That's half water, probably more. If you had 10 kilo of dry matter duckweed, then that would feed a pig for the day. But dry matter, 10 kilo of dry matter duckweed is probably 100 kilos weight out the bloody pond. You never produce enough. And there's not enough in duckweed on its own. You still need additives with it, minerals and maybe a bit more protein. I don't know what the protein value is in duckweed. It's like soldier flies. You want to feed your chicken, you still have to buy feed in. But if it interested me, then I'd have a compost bin in every run. But it doesn't really interest me, so I won't be doing it. High in calcium too, Spartan. Yeah, well, you know, I do put lime now and again in the feed for the chickens. But there will be lime. I know they put a lot of lime into animal feed, so they probably don't need extra, but I do give them extra on occasion. Experimenting. I did experiment with seaweed. If I could buy seaweed locally at a price affordable, I would certainly feed the pigs and chickens seaweed. Now, I did get a pack off Shopee just to try it, and it's dried, of course, and I couldn't do anything with it. Now, I took that packet and I put it on the table outside. It's been kicking around for long enough weeks, and it got wet. and it's just ballooned up and it's recognisable seaweed again now. So I'm going to soak it in water, and I'll give all the pigs a taste and the chickens a taste. But it's food grade seaweed. It's too expensive to buy like that for pigs. And it's green seaweed. Well, the brown red seaweed is better from what I've read. But I would have thought there'd have been somebody selling seaweed, but maybe on this particular stretch of course there's not the right sort of seaweed here. Yeah, I know fish eat duckweed a lot, but I don't know if fish need anything else. I mean, some fish are bottom feeders, some fish are top feeders. The top feeders get insects all the time. Well, the bottom feeders will, because the insects go in the water and into the mud to hibernate or whatever, like mayfly and all this. So fish will be getting a lot more protein than what they get out of the duckweed. Yeah, Edward, that's very true. Just talking about this last week, actually. The top well, it is deeper now, and it supplies the cabin, and washing and everything else, and it's adequate even in the dry spell. It never let us down. But down the bottom in the piggery, we use a lot of water, and this top well wouldn't have kept us going. So the bottom well is a good investment, and it pumps a good quantity of water all the time. And at the minute it's raining that much, we've had a cyclone cross over the top of Cebu Island. We've had a lot of rain from that one this last week. And the week before we had a cyclone going up the coast somewhere, which brought us a lot of rain. So the water situation, more or less, we're on rainwater at the minute. And we only harvest less than half of what we can harvest off the roots we've got. But we need a holding tank for it. And eventually that will get built. But now the house is up, we're keen to fit it out. Windows, doors, electrics, plumbing, then tiling. A lot of expense coming up. Yeah, if you go round any coast in Hebrides, the islands, out to Hebrides and whatever have you, where the very few stone walls and fencing's virtually non-existent, because they were crofting and they grew a bit of vegetables, short growing season, and they kept cattle and sheep, and probably pigs as well. And they let them out and they just roam down the hillside. And if they had access to the coast, they'd all go onto the coast eating seaweed, mollusks, I suppose, as well. But they love seaweed, and it's very, very good for animals.
I go open the shop.
Yeah. If I could introduce it to a diet for these pigs and chickens, I would. At the minute, I'm fermenting garlic, ginger, and honey. The local honey is cheap enough, just to, I suppose, to sweeten it up to make the pigs in particular want to eat it. I don't know if chickens have a sense of taste, but pigs have a sweet tooth. And I'm putting in a barrel of feed, maybe 4 tablespoons full of this mixture, and you can smell the garlic and ginger. It's supposed to be very good for them, preventing disease and that. We all know that garlic's good for diseases. Ginger apparently is too, but I knew about garlic. So I'm putting it in. It won't do them any harm, and yeah, keep trying different things. I mean, charcoal, I'm sold on charcoal. Lime on the floors, I'm sold on that. What else have I done? Yeah, they're the two main things. And the pigs, I don't worry about anymore about the pigs getting sick. Obviously, you're gonna get ups and downs with them. But the first time I had pigs in there, I shut it down. We lost quite a lot of pigs, and then I started up a good while after. And I said to Jean, if we get disease in the shed again, then it's finished. It's not viable. But I said, there's other people further up another mountain, and they're farrowing pigs. So it's possible. A lot of the disease we got from that was poor management on our part. I realise now, but at the time I thought we were doing the best. Well, we were doing the best we could, but I never had disease like that in Australia when they had pigs. Different climate, humidity. But yeah, we're managing it now. I've no doubt now, this is why I've changed my mind this week, to go for 7 sows and a boar, because I'm confident we can maintain them pigs to make it work. 6 months ago, I wasn't confident. That's why I just wanted to buy them in and grow them out. Yeah, Dawson MP. So Dawson Mike Peter. Yeah, disappointing. But you know, you got to go with what happens. She had about 12 piglets in the finish. They were all not developed, apart from the last one, which was 90% developed. But we gained a lot of experience out of it. I'm quite confident now. If when we get the boar in, if we have 3 or 4 pigs farrowing together, it won't worry me now. It did bother me that we might have 2 farrow at the same time, but there was a day apart in them. But no, now we're on top of it now. Elephant garlic. Never heard of it. Something else we'll Google. Cross between garlic and a leek. Interesting. Yeah, I know turmeric, Martin, is good as well. Or turmeric, some people say. I took turmeric for a good few years for backache, and it worked for me. I don't know, John. I don't know if it was ever here. They called it African swine flu. Any sick pig had got African swine flu, and the government in Cebu paid out compensation. Not a lot, but they paid out compensation. And there was a compulsory culling order of that if a farm got it a certain radius. And they were killing thousands of pigs. And
that's what happened in Bohol.
Yeah, and it's happened this year in Bohol. They've still got the same setup in Bohol. But on Cebu Island, it must have been getting expensive for the government. So they did all the tests and that said, oh, it's not ASF, it's pig cholera. No compensation. If you want to determine what the disease was, you need a blood test and it needs to go to a laboratory. And that doesn't happen here. On Bohol, I've seen on a YouTube video this year a pig technician with a slip of paper, testing paper, dipping in the urine. Oh yeah, it's ASF. They've all got to be killed. The problems I had with disease the first time around, I know now it was bad management. We thought we were doing the best we could, but no, it was bad management. And up the other mountain where we were buying piglets from, and just over the way on this mountain, one of Jean's cousins, we bought piglets off her, and they had no problem with their sows. They were spotlessly clean in that little piglet. There were 2 sows. Every time they crapped, they were in there with a brush and shovel. They were washing the pens out twice a day with detergent. So that got me thinking. I thought it was bad water. The first time around, drilling that bottom well, with water coming in from all over the places. I think that played a part. I think with bad water coming in. Whether it's African swine flu, not convinced at all. Now, you've had. I know what swine flu is. That wipes out a bloody lot of. You've no chance for that swine flu. And then all these diseases this last probably 2 decades now have come in. Started off with Ebola, finished up with COVID, your African swine flu, your Chinese flu, I don't know, all these different bird flus. Now there is a train of thought whether it's right or not. I've got my opinion. A lot of this shit was man-made in labs and released. The thing with it, if there's any truth in that, and you make your own mind up, a natural flu, it alters and changes and this is how it keeps going. Flu injections, never had one, never would have one. All the other injections of recent times, never had one, never would have one. I've only had one injection in my life, that was in the army for yellow fever. Voluntary. The matched up with the medical centre and they're all there sticking needles in us. Like the Gulf War. Injections a lot of them soldiers had because they were using uranium shells. A lot of people are buggered with them injections, so I believe. But the thing is, if there's any truth in these man-made diseases, they don't survive very long, they rapidly degrade, they don't alter. Not like natural flus, which change all the time. These, if there is man-made ones, they don't alter, and they fade away quite quickly. So I don't worry about ASF at all. I'm a bit worried about monkeypox. What a load of bollocks. Anyway, on that note, it's 5:30 going on. It's getting daylight. The pig meat's coming up. So I love you and leave you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting. I'd never get through this without the comments, that's for sure. So I'll be a bit more consistent this week with videos, and I'll try and I'll do a video going down the mountain or coming up. The road's been stopped for a number of weeks because we had a change of government, and they've wanted to inspect all these different projects. The machinery back on site now, and they're boarding up, so it should start going again. But it's much improved to what it was. So I'll make a video of that this week. I'll do one of the shop. And construction, we'll be back working on the house. Has it gone totally, John, ASF? No, well, they've had a big outbreak in Bohol, which is part of civil government, but it's a separate island. But I don't believe none of it. Might be wrong. But it's all bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I see nothing to alter my opinion. I'm not somebody who has opinions and doesn't change. You'll never change my opinion, no matter what arguments you put towards me. And I'll never change your opinion on any subject by arguing with you. But I do listen to what people say. I do take in what I read. And then I'm quite ready to change my opinion on anything if I think I'm wrong. Opinions develop as well. As you learn more, your opinions change. I don't have the same opinions now as what I did when I was 20. And that's life. You grow as you go through life. Unless you've got a closed mind, which some people do have, and they have the same opinions all their life because they don't grow. Yeah. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. And I'll see you later on today's video if you watch that later this evening or tomorrow morning. So bye for now, and we'll see you later.